Hello, I'm Julie, and welcome to my winter earring class. These are the earrings that I'm going to show you how to make in this class. And so the first thing we're going to do is go through what's in your kit, if you purchase the kit, and what you need to supply. And if you didn't purchase the kit, then you'll need to supply everything that I'm going through. So first we're going to go, if you purchase the kit, your kit will have your pre-punched shrink plastic beads for your earrings and your icicle beads. And then when I get into this, I talk about the punch that I used and the way that I colored those when I get into this. And then the icicles are done on clear shrink plastic. And then you have your bag of findings and beads, and you'll have little dagger beads, bugle beads, seed beads, tiny 4mm sequins. You'll have these brass leaf beads, the brass twigs, and your jump rings, and the earring backs that have the tiny bezels in the back for the earring. And then baby, they're either for baby clothes or for doll clothes, tiny buttons, itty bitty buttons. And then I've tipped the icicles in glass glitter, and I will include the glass glitter in your kit. And then E6000 to glue it in, plus the fire line to sew this together. So that's what's in your kit, all the materials you need to make this. And then what you need to supply are the tools. So you'll want a beading needle. This one's bent. It's a number 10 beading needle. And pliers to open and close jump rings. Round nose and chain nose, or 2 chain nose are really great. And then something to cut the fire line. This is a fishing line cutter, and this is a thread zapper. These are 2 styles. And then if you are putting the glass glitter on the tips that make these really extra special, you'll need really inexpensive nail polish. This one here is one with glitter in it, but you can just go to the dollar store and get clear nail polish, and you may have that around the house. So those are the tools. And then next you need the pink bezel, Shrinkets bezel mold, and a heat gun, a craft heat gun, and then a container. This is from my hand forming kit that I sell on my website, and we're going to be hand forming the icicles. I do it without gloves or protection. If you need protection, these are the gloves that come in my hand forming kit to help you to hold hot items. So that's it. Let's get started. In the first step, what I'm going to do is talk about how I colored the shrink plastic, and then we're going to shrink it down. So if you bought the kit, you will have your pre-cut shapes. And if not, I used I have a set of snowflake thin die cuts that I use with the Sizzix roller mill machine, and I use the middle side of the snowflake shapes that I sell on my website to create the shape. And then with the shrink plastic, I first misted it lightly with linen white spray paint, just one light mist, not to total cover it, just a light mist. So you'll see it'll be really blotchy. Then you don't want to do a heavy coat of spray paint. Then I lightly misted it with Krylon stained glass soft white, just a light mist. And then I used Krylon shimmer spray. You can use silver, opal, or gold. So that's how I got this color on the shrink plastic. And with this, I didn't feel that I needed to do any designing because this is enough on its own. And then for the icicles, this is clear shrink plastic, and I just cut them in these random teardrop shapes. And if you've bought the kit, you will have those pre-cut for you already. So now we're just going to shrink it. And I'm just going to, this is earrings, so you have 2 of each one, but I'm just demoing shrinking just one side of the earrings. So I'm going to use the pink bezel mold, and I'm putting the bead down on there with my decorative color facing up, with the spray painted side facing up. And I'm going to use my heat gun, and I'm going to be about this far away. And I'm going to go out to the perimeter and keep my heat out to the perimeter of the bead. So for the video's sake, I will shoot the heat sideways so you can see it shrink. But when you do it at home, go straight down to make the heat have the most impact. Out to the perimeter, very close to the bead because it's bigger. And especially on bigger beads, you want to stay out to the perimeter. There. It's done moving on its own accord, and it's flattened out. And I'm coming down here, and I'm going to hold this down, and I'm going to count 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. And I already had one done because I told you that these are pairs. There. And now I'm going to show how to make the icicles. So I'm going to use my little silicone bowl from my hand forming kit that I sell on my website. And that contains it so I don't have to chase it around on the table. Done shrinking, and then I'm going to quickly pick it up while it's warm and turn, keeping this flat, not bending it, keeping it elongated, a long straight line, and then just turning. But you want this tip, you want it to be nice and icicle-y, and you want this tip to not be twisted so that you can put a jump ring through that. Now we're going to do another one. And once again, pick it up and twist and hold it till it cools, keeping it nice and straight so we get this icicle look. And the third one, you will be doing 6. Pick it up, twist it, flip it around because I'm right-handed. And that got a little bit bent because I switched it and it started to cool too fast. So I want to reheat it, and I want you to see that you can reheat it if you didn't get the proper shape or if it cooled too fast. Don't force it. If it's cooling, don't force it. Reheat. It's very important that you keep it elongated and straight so it looks like an icicle. Now, as I said, I was only doing one pair, so you will be doing 2 of these and 6 of these. Next, we're going to do something really fun. Now, this is an option, but I did put this, the glitter in your kit. Not these little blue sequins. They're accidentally in there. And any clear, or this one here is a Sally Hansen glitter nail polish, or you can use clear nail polish. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm just coating the tip of this, and I'm skimming it down in the glass glitter. Okay, this is a white glass glitter. You could use a non-glass glitter or mica, or you can just forego this. If you, your kit will have this, but it will not have the nail polish. You can get clear nail polish at the dollar store if you want, because the glitter isn't that important. I mean, if you wanted to just, here, and then I'm just dipping it. I just wanted the tips of these done. If I got it a little clogged up on there, I'm just squishing it out. And I'm setting those aside to dry. It's just an accent, as if snow got on the bottom of these icicles. So I'm going to set those aside to dry, and you'd be doing all 6 of those. So glass glitter or regular plastic glitter, and nail polish. This happens to have glitter in it, which is great too, or just clear. And let these totally dry. So on to assembling. So I've taken my fire line, and I'm using 2 pounds. Then you can use 4 pound or 6 pound if you want to. This is just a small little piece, so you know, it's not needing a lot of support or holding a lot of weight, so, or taking a lot of stress. So I'm using a 2 pound, and I'm going to set aside, I'm using these tiny little sequins, little gold seed beads, bugle beads, and then these little dagger beads, tiny dagger beads. And what I'm going to do is string on 4 bugle, there'll be 4 bugle beads and 4 dagger beads, 4 sequins, and 4 gold beads. And we're going to make an 8-petal bead out of this. So I'm putting on, I put on the dagger bead, I'm putting the bugle bead on, I'm putting the sequin on, cupping out. These have tiny cups on them. I'm adding a gold seed bead. This is a little 15. I'm bypassing the gold seed bead and coming through and adding my dagger bead. adding a bugle bead. This is a matte ivory, a tiny sequin. I think this is a little 4mm sequin. Bypassing the gold bead down through the dagger bead. And this is a number 10 needle, beading needle. Let's pull this in. There. And I'm putting another dagger bead on. This is my third one. Adding the bugle bead, the sequin, the gold seed bead. Bypassing the gold seed bead down through the sequence. And pulling that. And then my fourth bugle bead, baby bugle bead. Not bugle bead, dagger bead. And this is a white iridescent, frosted iridescent finish on that. But you can use anything you want. But this is what your kit comes with if you've purchased the kit. Bugle bead, sequin, gold seed bead, bypass the gold seed bead or skip it, and then down through that sequence, and then I'm over here and I've got all 4 on there. 4 bugle beads, 4 dagger beads. Now, I have 2 choices. I can choose to go around this whole sequence again to make it extra tight. So I would want to pull this tight to begin with because once I go through there again, it'll be harder to pull it tight. And there is a thing with beading that says, you know, go through as many times as you can in a sequence in a situation like this. Now, if I was using a stronger line, like a 4 or a 6 pound, I would probably only go through once. I like the 2 pound for this because I can easily get through these tiny beads. So what I'm going to do is at least get through, I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. And each time I'm going to pull that really snug. So I came up through that. I'm coming down through my gold bead, back down through this sequence. And I know where I started because my tail's there. See, I've got my tail right there. So that tells me where I started. Yikes, I lost my little bead fell off. So I need to pull that out. I'll add that and come right back to this. So off camera, I quickly repaired that where it had fallen off, put it back on, and then I'm back where I was, where I said I'm going around the second time. So I know where I've started once again because there's my tail. And so the second, I went up through this, down through the gold bead and back around. Then I'm going to catch the bugle bead. And I'm just following the path around, and I will tighten, this will be about tightening it up and making it really snug. And so I'm just following that path around. Just going through everything that I had gone through before, just a second time around. Then back through that. So we pull snug. We want to pull snug when we're doing this. That's the whole idea. Around again. Down through the bugle bead, down through the dagger, baby dagger bead, pull snug, pull really snug, and I'm going to pull snug at this end. I sometimes have a hard time grasping my fire line to pull snug, so I'll keep pliers handy to pull snug. Down through, pull snug. This is my beginning tail, and I'm pulling at that end too because I want to keep this as snug as I can, because that's the whole point of going through this another time. Oops, go under that. Down through my sequence. Pull snug, go through my dagger bead, and I am where I started, okay? So I'm only going to go around there twice. I'm going to take both these ends. I'm going to take pliers and pull there. And I'm taking it off the needle. And I've got these two tails, and I'm going to tie it off. So here's, I'm going to cut it short. So I have even tails to work with. I'm going to do just a little knot on this, pull it as snug as I can, and then I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, which is taking that tail and wrapping it around twice, and do another surgeon's knot, wrapping it around twice. I know with all this, it's so tiny it is hard to see, but what I'm just doing are knots. Okay, just tying that off 3-4 times will do the trick. And if you wanted to put a dab of bead fix on there, you could, but there you've got your cute little sequence. And I'm going to take my thread zapper and zap off those lines. So you will be doing 2 of those, 1 for each earring. Now I'm going to attach it to my shrink plastic bead. So I'm going to take my baby mother of pearl button. This is like baby clothes button. It's really thin, mother of pearl, nice. I'm going to do this flower sequin. And I could put this in the center of it if I wanted. I'm going to decide if I want to do that. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to take gold. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to start from the back. So I've got my button, and I'm coming up through my button like so, okay? So I've got my button strung on there, and I've got a tail on the button. I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to come up through the hole here. Got it? There. And then I'm going to put this little guy on. Lay it on like this. And I'm going to put my sequin on. Now I'm doing my little stack. And I have to decide if I'm going to put that little guy on there. And I'm going to look at it. This is a tough choice. Okay, I put it on there. And then I'm putting the gold seed bead on, and I'm bypassing the seed bead, going on down through my sequence, down through the hole, down through my button. Okay, and then just like a button, I'm going back through the other loop of the button and coming back up through my sequence again, all the way up through my sequence, bypassing the gold bead, coming back down through my sequence again, and I might go up a third time. See if I can get through that. That's the beauty of using the really thin line. It's the little seed bead that you might have problems getting through, but we're through with a thin line. And so I went through 3 times, down through my sequences. I'm going to pull things snug. You want to pull things snug as you're doing this. And then on this trip, I just came out where my other tail is, on the back side of my tail, and that gives us the ability to pull this really snug and tie off just like we did our little stamen in there. A knot on there, then I do my surgeon's knot, which is a couple of times around the hole. Now I usually do 3 or 4 knots in something like this. Another surgeon's knot, and I will do a 4th one. I could have cut my and hiding that line under there, and we've got this nice little secure sequence here. And then I'm going to come in and cut my fire line with my bead zapper, and there. So you're going to do a second one of this so that we have 2. And now we're going to go and assemble the base. Here's my twig. Oops. And he's got his own separate jump ring. So once again, whenever possible, try to grab as much of the jump ring as possible. But if you're putting attachments on it, if you're linking them, it's easier to open and close them like so and just adding links. But when you're adding elements onto it, one side can hold broadly while the other one can kind of be the wiggle one. Okay, so now we're going to put our sequence together on the central jump ring. So I'm lining it up like so. I'm going to open this jump ring and I'm going to grab each one and put it on. And then I'm bringing it around here and I'm doing my best. Now this is once again where I break the rules and I have to come in like this. And we get this nice little trickle of winter wonderland golden leaves and golden twigs and icicles. Next, I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm bringing my other pieces over here that I had previously done. And I'm getting my E6000. It's an old tube, so it probably needs some assistance. And I'm looking for a way to poke into it. See if I can get some. It's kind of dried out. There. And our little button fits perfectly into that cabochon setting, and then you want to align it the way you want to see your piece. And I'm putting my little points right up there at the top. So I'm going to let those cure, and that's our little project for today. Thanks for joining me.